Hey everybody, Totally Random Games here, bringing you a totally awesome review of the new Path of Exile Delirium Challenge League patch notes. So in today's video, we're just gonna kind of go through the patch notes fairly quickly. We're gonna see if anything kind of pops out as far as being a possible area that we can exploit while doing our flipping challenge for this league, or for the start of this league, the first 2 weeks. As you may be unaware, I am going to be doing a flipping challenge where I cannot pass Act 1 to start out. So I'm going to stay in Act 1 for the first 2 weeks. And I'm just going to flip items, flip currency, flip items, and see how much wealth I can earn in that first 2 weeks. So definitely stick around the channel, hit the subscribe, do everything, tell your friends. It's going to be a pretty cool little challenge that we do. So anyway, let's get into the patch notes, shall we? So just starting out, I'm looking at the scroll bar. It's not as big as it has been in the past, so I'm assuming there's not a whole lot of content in this league as far as changes and additions go, but there may still be some nice little things hidden here and there. Starts out with the usual stuff, just information about the Challenge League, telling you that's new economy. That's the important part. That's why we're here. That's what makes this game fun. League in, league out is the new economy, in my opinion. Also the new stuff. I mean, is there any other game like Path of Exile that releases on this kind of pace? I don't think there is. So we already know kind of how the Delirium Challenge League is going to work. So I'm not really going to go into that very much. There's other videos out there that kind of analyze the B-roll footage that Path of Exile has supplied of the new league. So we kind of have an idea that it's going to be similar to Breach, and it's going to make us kind of move in one direction following the wave of smoke, I guess, or fog, whatever you want to call it. And if we don't clear fast enough, the fog will catch up to us, and then we'll lose that Delirium encounter. At least that's what I understood. So first thing kind of noteworthy is going to be the cluster jewels. Now these are findable, they're tradable, they're craftable. So I'm curious as to if there's any like unique cluster jewels or anything like that. And I'm also curious if higher item level cluster jewels will affect rolls, like if there's a tier system for the mods that you can get on it. I have a feeling there's not, just because, I mean, it affects the passive tree. So, but at the same time, it could. I mean, it could be a difference between, a 4% life, 5% life, or 6% life. I'm not sure. I never looked into it too much. If you guys already know the answer to this, feel free to yell at me in the comments. I'm also assuming some of the new keystones that you can unlock are going to be pretty rare. So some of those rare ones may sell for a lot. All depends on how rare it is to roll them. If we're talking tier 1 rare, like tier 1 fizz or anything like that, but similar for keystones, then some things could be quite valuable. Standard, hardcore, and solo self-found variations, nothing new there. Another 40 challenges, nothing new there. I've never gotten the 40 challenges. I just can't put in the time to do all the endgame stuff, like the crazy grinds. It's just not really what interests me. I prefer re-rolling, making new builds, than grinding out tedious things for a long time. But 40 new challenges for the people that like it. New totem pole. Nothing new there. So now we're starting major new content and features section. So we got a new intelligence skill gem, Arcane Cloak. New intelligence skill gem, Stormbind. We have Kinetic Bolt. And we have a dex skill, Blade Blast. An int skill, Spell Slinger. And we have another int gem, Archmage Support. So that's kind of cool. We got some new supports. Dex int gem. We got Second Wind. Adds an additional cooldown use to supported skills and grants those skills increased cooldown recovery rate. That sounds really cool. An additional cooldown. So I wonder if that means, because that means we can support things like Immortal Call with this, no? And allow it to have an additional proc. I don't know how useful that would be, but it sounds cool. Sounds like it can be used for things like Flame Dash too. get another use of it. I'm assuming that would work that way. Unless the charge doesn't count as a cooldown, but I'm not completely sure. Add the cluster jewels, so we all have already researched that, I'm sure. Simulacrum. This is an endgame encounter accessible by collecting simulacrum splinters from Delirium encounters. Take on a sequence of increasingly difficult fights for better and better rewards. How long can you last? That sounds pretty cool. Hopefully some of the rewards from that are really good. We got some new unique items. I'm not sure if they showed us many of these yet, but I guess we'll see if any of these are really meta building. Or sorry, meta enabling. 8 new divination cards designed by sporters. That's cool. Go sporters. Added a new type of currency, Delirium orbs, which can be applied to maps to plunge the entire area into Delirium. Okay, so that's simple enough. That's the orbs you add to the map to ensure that there's Delirium on the map. 2 new rogue exiles. Not too worried about that. I don't really play hardcore much, so we'll see what they're like as we come across them. To our hardcore buddies, good luck. Hopefully they're not savage exiles and they just destroy you. Then again, hopefully they do, because, you know, I definitely enjoy a good rip clip or two, but who knows. The rogue exiles aren't too bad. Everything gets one shot these days. Next section, we got minor new content and features. Significant improvements to a number of spectered monsters. That's cool. Improved appearance of shocked, burning, caustic, and chilled ground. That's cool too, I think. All depends on what they assume improved means. Added stash to the menagerie. That's good. Should have been there already. You did it, Reddit. Yeah. More Grandmasters. 9 more. Replace 7 others. I really like Hall of Grandmasters. I usually make one character dedicated to farming that each league. But some of the Grandmasters are really, really annoying. Arctic Breath, Caustic Arrow, Frost Blades, Ice Nova, Molten Shell, Molten Strike, and Scorching Ray have had visual upgrades. That's kind of cool, I guess. Depends on what those visual upgrades are. Ray Zombie now uses animations we created for Path of Exile 2. Cool, I guess. Visuals. So a lot of visual stuff, which is good. Cremation's projectiles impact area of effect is now more clearly portrayed visually. I think that's really good. Cremation wasn't always obvious all the time. You can once again sell 3 sextants of the same tier to a vendor for a sextant 1 tier higher. I mean, makes sense. How did it even get in the game without updating that vendor recipe? It's kind of weird. Maybe it was just overlooked, I guess. Added an option to have your portal appearance randomly selected from all owned portal microtransactions. This applies not only to your portal to town, but to your map device. In fact, you can have all 6 map device portals randomly selected. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. I'm starting to build up a little collection of portals, so it's kind of neat. Current unique synthesis maps and unique watch stones will now have slots in the unique stash tab. It's probably good. Like that. You'll no longer be ambushed by betrayal interventionists or by Atlas influenced monsters while looking at your betrayal board, the incursion temple panel, the metamorph panel, the anointment panel, or talking to an NPC. Yeah, that's probably fine. Changed our anti-aliasing technique from MSAA to SMAA. Ooh, improvements. Improved engine multi-threading, added support for 16 logical cores, previously 8. Cool, so you can use your 16 cores, you crazy people. Charged, enriched, and pure breach stones now each have their own unique art. I mean, that makes sense. Should have something, like at least a little change to show that it's, you know, new and improved. Added a new item filter drop effect, color options. Woo, more colors. Added an arrow shatter effect for arrows that neither bounce off a surface nor stick. Improve the audio of all war cries. Not too worried about that. I don't really need to hear my character shouting, but I can understand the roleplay for some of you guys. improved the performance of all ailment effects on players and monsters. That's really good. That's big actually, especially for curses. Well, really everything, because I remember playing Animate Weapon with a lot of auras, and it would just get so ridiculous as these monsters kept getting in the range of the auras, leaving the range of the auras. It would lag a lot, so hopefully that fixes that. That'd be cool. Continued to incrementally improve the sound, art, effects, and environments. So that's really good. I'm assuming we're still going to get the disco ball effect every now and then, but I'm okay with it. Got some Atlas changes. So they got a lot of good feedback. Apparently they're going to be making some improvements, implementing things, Conqueror's presence, yada yada. So I already read over all this stuff. I'm sure we all have. They're just making it easier to see your progression as far as spawning the Conquerors and stuff goes. I'm not really going to read through this. The gist of it is that it's easier to target spawn the Conquerors. Bonuses for completed Atlas bonus objectives and Awakening bonus objectives have changed, so no longer additional maps. I'm okay with this change. I mean, I was absolutely swimming in red maps within the first day or two last league. Now gonna gain, looks like you're gonna get more map mods, so that's cool. Less map drops, more dangerous maps. Overall, it's probably not even gonna really feel like less map drops, because the quantity is probably gonna go up with that map mod increase, I would assume. Made changes to several sequence modifiers that were overly rewarding. Yeah, it makes sense. I know some of them were quite rewarding. Metamorph mechanics added to the core game. I'm not going to go into reading about how it's added, but the fact that it's added is good. It's a 10% chance, just like every other league. So that's cool. Endgame Val side area improvements. Wand attack projectile is now considered larger for the purpose of collision detection against monsters. That's good. You'll hit monsters easier. It also makes dodging things while keeping up a high rate of attack a lot easier for less skilled people like myself. Elusive now grants 30% increased movement speed from 40%, so a little bit of a nerf there. 15% dodge chance from 20%, a little bit of a nerf there. And as customary with GGG, total nerf to every aspect of the skill, because we also get a 15% chance to dodge spells from 20%. It's now a hard upper limit of 75% chance to avoid damage from hits, such as the fire damage avoidance found on Glitter Disc. Alright, so apparently they don't want you to avoid everything. Scorch and Brittle, alternate ailments for fire and cold damage respectively, have both had their maximum effects raised. Scorch reduces elemental resistances by 30% instead of 20%. Brittle now increases chance to critically strike an afflicted enemy by 15%, up from 10. Scorch, Brittle, and Sap all have a base duration of 4 seconds, up from 2. So that's cool. A little bit of buff there. Pretty big buff, really, especially for Scorch. Skill reworks. Now allows maximum 5 animate weapons at gem level 1, up to 14 at gem level 20. So that's down from 50 at all gem levels. Not sure I like that change. It's probably more of a performance thing. As you can tell, they did increase the damage and everything, so they kind of gave it the Blade Vortex effect, where they just nerfed the amount you could have, but increased the damage everywhere. Hopefully it's still good. Skill balances, not too worried about that. Specific skills. Okay, so this is a bunch of skill stuff. Yeah, skill reworks. Specific skills. I'm not going to go into all this stuff. I'll kind of just scroll through it. You guys can take a look if you haven't already, or pause the video if you need to read a certain one. I'm not going to go into it. It's pretty much what we all expected. Wand stuff is getting reworked to be a little better, and pretty much anything to do with minions is probably getting nerfed, so don't really need to read stuff for that. I will read Valve Flame Blast. because I enjoy Flame Blast. And I'm just gonna double check, see if there was a Flame Blast. So Flame Blast base radius of 2 from 5. So okay, so they lowered the radius. Neat. Now gains +3 radius per stage from 2. So 2, so that gives 10. So it's an overall gain at maximum of like 7 or something like that. Of +7. So it's like a nerf on the low end, but a buff on the high end. Yeah, Valve Flame Blast, same thing. Increased base radius to 35. Now triggers every 3 steps from every 5 steps. So buff to Valve Flame Blast as well. I like it. I like the good old Pizza Blast. I'll take it. Passive tree stuff. Not worried about it. I'm more interested in stuff that's gonna help me gain currency. Density balances. It's good. They do this every league. Item balance. Physical damage taken as chaos, fire, cold, lightning modifiers now mutually exclusive. I think that's a nerf, right? I don't know. I don't understand the PoE terminology sometimes. Looks like a bunch of nerfs to the temple items as well. Nerf to the amount of summoned skeletons, summoned zombies as well. So yeah, just all around, summoners are pretty much, you know, they got blasted this league, which is fine. It's been summoner meta for like 2 leagues now at least. Nerf to the Baron as well. They literally, I don't know, GGG, this is just how they do it, man. There's no such thing as small nerfs. It's just, let's take everything and obliterate it. The rate and volume of monsters that will spawn while you are in a city area has been increased. That's cool. I'll take more monsters. Incursion changes. If you're very lucky, you can now find double corrupted strings of servitude from incursion temples of level 80 or greater. That's pretty cool. Man, some of those could be really nice, actually. Cool. Many rooms now provide temple-wide bonuses for present-day Temple of Azuato based on their tier. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about all this stuff. Chests. I don't even need to read everything. Just from reading that first line, I can already tell that they want to make doing the incursions better. So I'm just going to assume everything's been buffed. Is that a good assumption? Let me know in the comments. Did I assume properly? I'm assuming that's what happened. The Mastermind can now drop Metamorph Scarabs. Makes sense. It's added to the core game, right? Map changes. Copies of Exile created during the Alluring Abyss Exile fight now have approximately 5 times more life than before. Alright, that's a big change. Not gonna lie though, after the boss changes, like last league, when I was doing Uber at Ziri, I didn't feel like the mirrors had much health. Like they felt like they had only a tiny bit more health than even the split phase for regular at Ziri. So I have a feeling they missed the health buff on the mirrors when they went and did the health buffs on all the other bosses. Looks like bosses in a lot of the unique maps have had their life significantly increased. So they're trying to keep up with the power creep. We're getting a lot of power creep, but they're making the monsters harder. I'm assuming that's pretty much what all this is going to be about. Burial chambers moved to tier 7, specifically so there isn't only one tier 7 map. That's fine. Not worried about that change. I don't think I'll be farming burial chambers this league anyway. I'm just going to flip for all my currency. Shaper takes significantly reduced damage at the start of each phase, which tapers off after 8 seconds. That's fine, I guess. I don't know. I don't really like the whole punish people with high DPS builds kind of thing. If people spend the currency to make their characters insanely bursty and strong, then, you know, they should be able to be insanely bursty and strong. And I get the counter argument to that, that creating a miner or a trapper is really easy and doesn't take any skill to just drop 20 mines, explode them all at once, and insta-phase a boss. But I don't know. I think they have to, going farther down the line, they have to find a better way to address that. Xena League mods. Okay, we already know what that's going to be. Fortune Favors Brave, Ambush, Abyss, Bloodlines, Domination, Perandus, Beyond, and Blight. So overall, pretty cool. I like the League selection. Mainly because, hey, Beyond. And we're going to hopefully be making a Headhunter build. So I'll take it. Any league that has Beyond, sweet. User interface improvements. Not going to read through that. Crest rewards, not going to read through that. It's probably just adding the new skills to the quests. PvP changes. Imagine if people cared about PvP changes. Maybe if they released the PoE Battle Royale that they had for April Fools that one year, then people would be more interested in PvP. I know I would. I really thought Battle Royale was really fun. And we also got a lot of bug fixes. Not going to worry about it. You guys can read through it all. I'm not going to read through all these bugs. Pretty crazy though. That's a lot of bugs. Holy, that is a lot of bugs. Wow. Can you imagine? Oh my. Oh well, that's cool. They're finding them and they're fixing them. Appendix. Okay, removed that. So recently added, so this is stuff that was added after the fact, I'm guessing. Animate weapon now has the physical tab. Now animates a weapon in an area around where you are targeting. You don't have to target a specific item. So that's really good as well. And then, yeah, wand buffs, we knew that. So yeah, there we have it. That's the patch notes for the upcoming Delirium League. Should be a pretty good time. I didn't really see anything useful there as far as figuring out what the flipping meta is going to be for item flipping. It's pretty much going to be the exact same as last league, except obviously we're probably not going to be flipping summoner chest pieces or anything like that. But overall, not bad. It's going to be basically the same as last league, which kind of makes it easy. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. If you guys have any comments to make or any comments about anything that I may have missed, feel free to let me know in the comments. Other than that, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button if you liked what you were watching. Ping the like button. Do the notifications or don't, doesn't matter. And we'll see you in the next video. It'll probably be after Delirium League has started. See you later.